Warning, this video contains spoilers for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is more than it seems. On the surface, gameplay seems to follow your typical JRPG format. You have a party of characters with different moves, turn-based combat, your characters level up, and you collect/upgrade your gear. The Like a Dragon games are heavily inspired by Dragon Quest after all, so gameplay is very similar. But once you start actually playing the game, you'll quickly become sidetracked with one of the many mini-games. There are several mini-games to play in Infinite Wealth, and they all vary in depth quite significantly. On the simpler end are mini-games like the fishing minigame, which is basically just a timing challenge. On the opposite side of the spectrum, you have Dodonko Island and Sujimon, which are fully fledged Animal Crossing and Pokemon parodies which you can easily sink several hours into. Other mini-games include arcade machines, trivia, a dating simulator, karaoke, golfing, baseball, delivery driving, can collecting, darts, and more. I personally spent nearly half of my total playtime in Infinite Wealth engaged with the minigames. But why include all these minigames? Sure, they're fun, but at a certain point the game could be considered more minigame than actual game. Could it be because the developers lack confidence in the core gameplay and sought to keep your attention using a plethora of shorter and attention-grabbing minigames? I have to say no. If you are a fan of JRPGs, the main gameplay of Infinite Wealth is more than enough. A detailed map full of interesting side quests, quirky party members, and multiple classes, each with several unique abilities, are more than enough to keep you entertained for many hours. Even without the minigames, you still have a very enjoyable game. So again, what's with all the minigames? Well, I believe they aren't just meant to be fun, even though they are. They actually serve a deeper purpose. Firstly, they expand the world and make it seem more alive. Minigames are scattered throughout the map, and increasing the amount of places you can interact with contributes to creating a game world that feels fun and interesting to spend time in. But they also serve a narrative purpose by offering insight into the two main protagonists of the game. In Infinite Wealth, the two main protagonists are Kazuma Kiryu and Ichiban Kasuga. Kiryu's character can be described as serious and stoic.
おいおい危ねえな。こっちは何もしてねえのにチャカぶっ放すとはよ。
He's a man of few words, but he's looked up to and revered by all the different characters in the game. As they get to know him, they discover he has a softer side. Ichiban, on the other hand, can be described as enthusiastic and a bit goofy. Many characters in the game are put off by Ichiban when they first meet him, but are eventually won over due to his earnestness and pure heart.
真面目に話してる。ちいちゃんが家から出て自由に生きてってんなら手貸す。
While playing through the story, Kiryu and Ichiban each have access to a few character-specific minigames. Only Kiryu is able to take part in the batting cages and can quest minigames. Batting cages minigame is first done as part of the story. Kiryu unfortunately has cancer and is told he has only months left to live. His friends and party members urge him to complete a bucket list and take some time to enjoy what little time he has left. So Kiryu decides to have some fun at the batting cages. I think the batting cages minigame perfectly encapsulate the beginning of Kiryu's journey in this game. Batting cages are straightforward and direct. The ball comes towards you, you hit it. Simple as that. The minigame mirrors Kiryu's outside personality as a dependable and strong person. As Ichiban is the main character of Infinite Wealth, he has access to many more character-specific minigames than Kiryu does. But the two minigames he has specific access to that add the most to the narrative of Infinite Wealth are Dodonko Island and Mismatch. In Dodonko Island, Ichiban gets washed off to sea and ends up on this rundown island that used to be a 4-star resort. There, he meets the old resort owner and his strange employees who plead with him to help them bring the resort to its former glory. This minigame is essentially a parody of Animal Crossing, and there's plenty to do. You build houses, clean up trash, fight off bad guys, and decorate your home. The minigame perfectly captures the altruism of Ichiban as he takes on a role of protector and leader of the island. The minigame also parallels Ichiban's quest at the beginning of the game to rehabilitate all the former Yakuza members after the dissolution, just as he is rehabilitating the hotel. The two minigames set up and show the player the contrasting personalities of our two main protagonists. Kiryu is strong and stoic. He's a job to do and he completes it with professionalism. Ichiban is more aloof, but has a heart of gold. He does whatever it takes to stick up for people and believes in second chances. They have different personalities, but they complement each other very well. Kiryu and Ichiban interact with each other a lot throughout the story, and each also learns from the other as the game progresses. Kiryu is also able to take part in the Can Quest minigame. This minigame has a slightly more upbeat and goofy tone compared to the batting cages. In this minigame, you ride around on your bike, collecting cans for homeless people. In the previous Yakuza Like a Dragon game, you played Can Quest as Ichiban. I think that seeing Kiryu embrace this activity showcases his growth throughout the story and how Ichiban's character traits are rubbing off onto him. He learns to embrace the wacky side of life and wants to be more noble with his efforts. While Ichiban is an honest and sincere person, he is somewhat socially awkward and will often say the wrong thing. For example, in the beginning of the game, he confesses his love to his friend Seiko. However, he goes a bit overboard and ends up proposing to her, all while accidentally being sexist, belittling, and thoughtless. She ends up icing him out and leaves him on red while he goes to Hawaii. This is where the minigame Mismatch comes in. This is essentially Tinder for Ichiban. You build a dating profile, try and select the correct answers, and type as fast as you can to send it out properly. If you're successful, you'll land a date, either with a real-life woman,
待ってる間
or get catfished by some sort of creep, pervert, or even a chicken.
How the hell can you use a smartphone?
But this minigame is used to explain Ichiban's personal growth. He gains confidence in himself and learns how to express himself without going overboard. At the end of the game, he even talks about his situation with Kiryu, who helps Ichiban realize that sometimes, the less you say, the more meaning your words have. This all culminates when at the end of the game, he confesses his love to Seiko once more, using only the words, I love you.
さっちゃん好きです
There are a lot more minigames in Infinite Wealth, and some of them seem to really only be in the game as callbacks to previous entries in the series, or just meant to be fun. But I think a few of the character-specific minigames do certainly serve a higher purpose. They emphasize the characters of Ichiban and Kiryu, and how they influenced each other's growth as people. I think Infinite Wealth does a really great job creating fun, engaging minigames that weave themselves really well into the main story, and even serve to enhance character development. Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth's minigames aren't so many.